721, welcome back. Monday morning here on BT. Criminal defense lawyer Emmet Duncan joining us right now. Good morning to you.
How you doing?
Good, and we brought you on for good reason. We want to get some insights when it comes to filming. Police situations in a public setting, and this relates to an incident we saw last week in Toronto. In case you missed it, have a look at this clip.
Get that guy out of my face, please. Sir,
Excuse me? Excuse me? No.
Yeah, you guys,
I'm a witness.
Right back.
I'm a witness.
Okay, well, if you're a witness, then we're going to be seizing your
So
cell
what'd you say?
phone.
Stop
Okay.
recording, or I'm going to seize your phone as evidence, and then you're going to
Sir,
lose your phone.
if you're a witness, we're going to need to seize your phone.
So a great debate emerged from this. Formal complaints were filed about the treatment of this bystander filming. What are basic rights for any of us in a public setting to film any police situation?
Yeah, it's a great question, and people have been coming up to me to say exactly that. What are you allowed to do? And I think the easy, short answer is that in a free and democratic society, you can do what you want to do as long as it's not against the law, as long as you're not interfering with police officers. So I think if a citizen witnesses something that they want to record for whatever reason, they can take their phone out and go ahead and do that, as long as they're not messing around with something legitimate that the police are doing.
So the word interference comes up. So how would you define obstruction or interference? Because those are the points that really come into question here.
Yeah, well, it's certainly what the police raised in this case, and it's true that the police have the right and the duty to carry out their function. And so if they're effecting an arrest, for instance, they are permitted to push people back, to keep people out of the way, to make sure that either their safety, the safety of bystanders, or the safety of the person who's being detained isn't affected by bystanders coming in. So if you had this individual crowding them, trying to get closer and closer and closer, or if he was riling people up to do the same thing, that would be offside. But as I saw this video, this fellow was fairly far back, and he maintained what seemed to be a reasonable, legitimate distance to me.
And if we can, roll in that viz, because you'll get a feel of the distance that Emmett's talking about in this clip. So if you are approached by a police officer and this bystander clearly keeps his distance, and they say to you, "We are going to seize your phone, give me your phone," what are my rights in that situation? How do I handle that?
Yeah, that is definitely the trickiest part of the whole equation, because I think it's certainly can be said that if police officers think that someone is holding evidence of an offense, they clearly have the right to try to get that evidence. They could go to a judge to get a warrant. And so the dilemma for the police officer in that case is, do I wait to get a warrant, or do I seize the phone in order to preserve it so that I can then go get the warrant? And the dilemma for the guy holding the phone is, I'm filming police officer possible misconduct here. Do I let this phone go into the hands of the people whose conduct I'm concerned about? It's a very tricky question.
So what do you do? If they say, "We want to seize it," you're refused, they take you into custody, how does that situation play out?
Yeah, I think probably the most prudent thing to do if you're holding the phone and the police officer is demanding it and they're serious is probably to give up the phone, because the police usually win those battles in the street.
Even if you believe you've been a witness to misconduct. Not saying there's misconduct in this case here.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the case, and it's an unfortunate commentary right now in terms of public confidence sometimes in the police, that there would be that dilemma in someone's mind. But I think, again, that'd be the prudent thing to do. But it's up to the individual in this situation to decide how far he or she wants to push it.
And some people push it by taking clips if they hold onto their phone and they're posting it online. So
Right.
what are the parameters legally of what's involved here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is sort of subject to the same principle. As long as you're not breaking a law, if you want to do that, then that's something that you're allowed to do. And, we have so many examples over the last 12 to 18 months in the United States with fatal shootings by police. Vancouver, YVR, the Jajansky incident was...
Robert Jajansky was a big one, yeah.
A celebrated incident. It was really important, too, because it shined a light on not just a use of force at YVR, but it enabled investigators to learn that the police had misrepresented what happened, and it ultimately led to the Braidwood inquiry, which overhauled the rules when it comes to use of tasers.
So the game has changed. Citizen journalism and the sense of voyeurism that exists has had everyone filming, whether it's a legal issue, a moral issue. Overall, what's your advice to anybody out there capturing any type of moment with their phone?
Well, I think a lot of people would say that shining a light on police conduct is a moral responsibility of people. I think it's a personal choice, but that if people feel like it's important to get the phone out and start making a recording, they should absolutely do it.
Accountability is everywhere, and so are those eyes. Emmet, thanks so much for coming in.